Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And with the wrestling quiz challenge on
hiatus.
Mid-season, hiatus, summer break.
Hiatus, yes.
Fall break, whatever it is. We're taking on a new challenge. And this is nothing we haven't done here on the show. We do it every time there's a pay-per-view. We guess the Dave Meltzer star rating. However, we've developed a point system now. So, like, each week, we're going to quiz each other on Meltzer star ratings. From now on, here it is. 2 points if you get it exactly right. 1 point if you manage to get within a quarter of a star of the rating.
Otherwise, you get nothing.
Nothing.
You lose, probably.
You lose, sir.
Probably.
I've got 5 matches here. You've got 5 matches. I'm trying not to look at your phone there. Are you ready for the wrestling quiz, the Dave Meltzer quiz challenge?
You got to clean this table off. Yeah, sure.
It's your table.
But it's your house.
You clean it off. Number 1. We're going heavy today on the brother.
Oh.
Hulkamania.
Oh, gosh.
That's right. First up, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania.
Oh, this will get a relatively high one.
In 2002.
Yeah, WrestleMania 18, yeah.
Now, what I've done here, I've taken some of Dave Meltzer's write-up of this stuff because some of it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
He said this. Let's see here. Hulk Hogan back in Toronto, the city of the 2 previous biggest matches of his career with Paul Orndorff and the Ultimate Warrior. Yes.
Is he forgetting about WrestleMania 3 against Andre?
Well, that wasn't in Toronto.
I know, but like 2 of the biggest matches of his career. 2 biggest matches or 2 of?
He says 2 of.
Oh, okay, it's fine then. I thought you said 2, like full stop.
It was the match where Hogan was to so-called pass the torch to Rock in storyline, but in reality, he cleverly took the torch from Rock in a manner Rock himself didn't even understand until after the show was over. Here's the actual part of the write-up here, because that was in the preface. Everyone cheered Hogan and most booed Rock, which was the story of the match, far more than the bout itself. Jim Ross tried to act like it was a mixed reaction, but as the match went on, had to acknowledge that Hogan was getting a majority of cheers. Lots of mistimed spots. Hogan made a lot of Rock's offense look bad by not going up for him. Some wrestlers thought it was Hogan's cleverness. Others blamed it on his injury, but even bringing up the injury, it was noted that when it suited him, Hogan got up fine. Side note, Hogan Warrior was 3 3/4 to me watching it, and a week later watching a replay felt embarrassed because it didn't hold up. Years later, it looked awful. Just like watching back all those Jim Duggan tapes when he was super over in Mid-South and going, how can I not realize how bad this guy was?
Wow, that's all in the write-up?
Jim Duggan's catching strays.
Wow.
From Meltzer. So, Hogan Rock WrestleMania, how many stars did it get, Larson?
So he's in there, he said 3 1/4 initially for Hogan Warrior at WrestleMania 6, went back, reevaluated, and was embarrassed by the initial score.
Correct, Sherlock.
See, I was gonna say 3.5 because the crowd makes that match. If that's an empty arena match, that match is garbage.
Oh, big time. Yeah. You also have to add historical context.
Yeah. I'll say 2 3/4.
Ooh, you get 1 point because it was in fact a 3-star match.
I was so close to 3 stars.
All right.
I'm on the board though.
So, 1. You're on the board. Well done.
What do you got over there?
Next bitch.
Oh, all right.
Razor Ramon versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels Part 2 ladder match.
Oh, they won SummerSlam?
At SummerSlam 1995. Here's what Meltzer had to say. Write-up isn't quite as extensive as the last one. Michaels got the bigger pop coming out, but that's because he puts on a show before the match. I guess he means the pyro and stuff.
I guess so, or the dancing.
Ramon wasn't booed at all, except by a small smattering of fans midway through the match while he was destroying Michaels. The crowd live was more pro-Ramon, believe it or not. Even at the finish, they opened like Misawa Kawada with them teasing each other's big spots. For drama, this was better than their WrestleMania match, but not for bumps. What was the Dave Meltzer star rating?
So the original one got 5 stars, I believe. And this one I think is just slightly lower. I'm going to say 4.5.
You're within a quarter. You're on the board again with 1 additional point. It was 4 3/4.
Darn it.
Yeah, close. All right, moving on here.
Next.
Did the original one get 5?
I believe so.
Okay. Next up. Who could forget this classic? Jay Leno and DDP.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord.
Versus Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Oh, gosh.
I've got like a bunch of write-up here because it's hilarious. Jay Leno wrestled. Sort of. Well, he was in a wrestling match and grabbed one hold and threw 2 punches and did a double team clothesline, a double Clizliz, and scored the pin over Eric Bischoff at the end to apparently prove that he was really the king of late night television. He was terrible athletically, but kept well hidden and didn't really embarrass himself. Actually, the main event at Road Wild, which saw Hulk Hogan and Diamond Dallas Page once again work with non-wrestlers, this time 2 men who hardly qualify as world-class athletes, but it still blew away their match last month, probably because they knew to keep things shorter and simpler because Hogan and Page worked a lot better this time out. Not that it would qualify as anything even close to a good match, but it wasn't that bad. And the people there live were into it, which is something that can't be said about just about every other match on the show. I added this part because it is hilarious. Road Wild is the car wreck of wrestling pay-per-view shows. A yearly disaster waiting to happen, and this year's version was by far the worst of the 3. This match had good heat, but nothing special, and unlike last month, the audience didn't sleep through the match. Leno got a good reaction, but not anywhere close to what you'd expect. I don't know what you'd expect.
What do you expect? I don't know.
I would give him no reaction.
Does anybody really like Jay Leno?
Yeah. They threw a drink on Hogan and Bischoff. Bischoff was noticeably heavier than at Starrcade to the point that he wouldn't take his shirt off. Why would he fat shame Bischoff? Maybe that's why Bischoff hates Meltzer.
That could be.
Hogan and Page worked most of the way and did a good job, working tons stiffer than as usual for either. So I don't know how you're going to put that one together.
So, I mean, initially when you said the match, I was thinking it's going to be a -star situation. But then he gave the match some measure of praise, kind of backhanded compliment, saying it wasn't as bad as this. It wasn't as bad as that. So I don't think it's going to be in the negatives.
That's a really good assessment of the situation, Larson.
I'm going to say 1 single star.
Again, you're within a quarter. It was 1 1/4. Well done. Well done. All right, you got 3 so far
All
with
right.
2 matches left. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to beat your score already. That was a really good assessment there. Next. Survivor Series 1991, Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker.
Okay.
Very slow-paced match. They did no-sell spots early to put Taker over. The execution of what that did wasn't good, and they did very little. Undertaker held choke holds and claw holds seemingly forever.
Oh, wow.
When watching the show, I thought the best work in the entire show was Hogan selling the tombstone after the match was over, as it took him several minutes to get to his feet, and he looked really groggy, and his selling was completely realistic. As it turns out, he really was injured, apparently by the tombstone on the chair. After viewing it back several times, it does appear that Hogan's head never came near the chair. However, Hogan literally was telling this to Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Listen to this. However, Undertaker may have jammed Hogan's neck with his knee since Hogan was hospitalized legit all night long with a jammed neck. Which is why Sean Mooney had to do Hogan's interview for him later in the card. There were early fears he'd have to miss dates this week. That entire thing was Hogan trying to torpedo Undertaker's career.
Bury the Taker. Bury Undertaker.
So yeah.
3/4 of a star.
You said 3/4 of a star. It was half a star, so you got another point. Well done. Look at you. The Katra.
I need to get one, like, spot on.
Katra is aligning. He said this. He said the match itself was negative stars, but finish and post-match brought it out of the red.
Oh, wow.
So Hogan trying to politic and lie his way into getting Undertaker fired.
I know, and feed Meltzer some fraudulent information.
Now,
Last
this
one, right?
might be your opportunity to get a spot on match rating. Because 1 week after Survivor Series, they did Tuesday in Texas. Undertaker versus Hogan 2. Hulk Hogan pins The Undertaker in 1309 to apparently regain the WWF title, which was announced the next day as held up, pending the Rumble, January 19th. The first time I saw this match, I thought it was so much better than last week, and the finish was very exciting. But after watching it again, while it may have been better than last week, blank. I can't tell you what he says then because he gives like his assessment of the star rating.
Yeah.
Long chokeholds, a 2-minute claw hold, and poor timing, particularly of Hogan's offense.
Hold up, 2-minute claw hold?
He says a 2-minute claw hold here.
Wow.
I didn't watch the match myself.
Wow.
Undertaker did a few things he didn't do the previous week, but Hogan has very little left except his charisma. What was the star rating for Tuesday in Texas?
It was better. And the last one was half a star, right?
The previous one was half a star, yes. Yeah.
1 star?
A star and a half. No points for that one, but congratulations,
4
you
points.
do have 4 points. Ooh.
All right.
Oh, you did set the tone, sir.
All right, let me see what's a good one to start here. Let's start with this one. We were there for this match. I like talking about matches we were there for.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I'm talking about Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Samoa Joe, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2.
Okay.
Now, the blurbs I have aren't quite as extensive as yours, but
Sure. Yeah,
you know,
that's fine.
this is what Dave had to say about this match. This was the closest Nakamura has come to one of his major card Japanese matches. Nakamura went for a Kinshasa, but Joe kicked out. He did a second one to the back of the neck and a third one and got the pin. The place went nuts for this.
4.5.
Point for Steve, 4 1/4.
There we go. All right.
4 1/4.
On the board.
Next one, a match that's very near and dear, I know, to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Blue Demon Jr., Triple Mania 27. The hammer match. Give me your hand.
Hammer match.
No, put it flat.
Here's a hammer for you if you want to use that.
That match, cinder block.
Ay, que lástima.
This is what Dave had to say about this one. This match is tons of fun. That's not what Dave said. That's what Larson's saying. This is what Dave said. There wasn't much in the way of wrestling here, but it's 2 legends in a major stip match, and this was, as you can tell by the business numbers, a huge main event.
So he's giving it credit for legacy and star power, knocking it for the actual wrestling. I don't know where he'd land on that. I'm going to say he lands at 3 3/4.
Half a star off.
Damn it.
3 1/4.
Damn it. Oh, okay.
3 1/4.
All right.
Good guess, though.
Yeah.
Next, Bryan Danielson. He just had a strap match.
You know, I should have gone for 3 because Hogan Rock got 3. It's sort of similar.
Bryan Danielson just had a strap match against Ricky Starks at All Out, but he also had a strap match against Fiend Bray Wyatt at Royal Rumble 2020.
It was a good match.
Really good match. That's what Dave had to say about it. Quote, "This was the best Fiend match, and Bryan and Asuka were the 2 best overall performers on the show." Everything else in the write-up is just
descriptive.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
He really likes Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
I think he has an award named after Bryan
Yes,
Danielson.
the best
so he
technical
gets
wrestler, yes.
additional points. I'm going to say 4 1/4.
On the board, it's 4 stars.
Hey, there we go.
You got 2 left. 2
right.
left.
Come on, knock one
Let's
out of the
do
park.
this one. You'd like to talk about this match, and you think this is an opportunity that Orange Cassidy could have won the AEW title. I'm talking about Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac, Double or Nothing 2021. Dave had quite a bit to say about this one from an editorial standpoint. That's what he had to say. There was a lot of brilliance to this match. The execution was great, and the finish was almost perfect, as you literally took people on the ride of Cassidy really winning 3, and then I think he means to say, and then 3 seconds later, Omega pinned him. Plus, you're still open for Omega versus Pac, which is one of the best singles matches you can do in the world right now. Actually, he says in this world right now. Are there other universes that Meltzer is aware of that we are not?
I mean, look, man, maybe he saw those aliens that the Mexican government unveiled today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only negative is the shenanigans took me out of the match at different points, but as far as the actual work goes, this would be among the better 3-way matches ever.
Okay. I'm going to say that first clause there in the last sentence probably knocked it a 1/4 star. I'm going to say 4 3/4.
You're on the board, 4.5. It's 4.5. Another point for Steve.
All right.
Oh, here's your chance to tie. We're going to end on this one.
We don't have anything. We don't have any tiebreakers.
We don't. Carry on to the next week. Here it is. quite possibly one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And I watched it here at this house on a recliner out in the other room. WrestleMania 27.
Oh, wow. Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler.
Yes, you got it.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So this is the closest editorializing Dave got in his write-up for that match. It's a terrible match.
It is awful.
Cole went to the middle rope for a Vader reverse splash, but then climbed to the bottom rope and did it off the bottom rope. Lawler's selling went way too long and led to the match dying.
Oh, man. All right. Led to the match dying.
I mean, honestly, the match being booked led to the match dying.
The entire, like, from beginning to end, it was a half hour, like, all the segments.
Yeah. All
everything.
the shenanigans and promo before the match and all that. It was like, 25 minutes or 28 minutes.
I'm going to say he gave it, golly, led to the match dying. Oh, God, did he even give it? I'm going to say he gave it a quarter of a star.
1 star.
He gave it a whole star.
He gave it a whole star.
Oh my God.
I was shocked when I saw that.
That match was terrible.
That son of a bitch is a dud, at least.
How does the match die and get a star?
He made note in his write-up, too, that the match didn't even get in the ring until almost 3 minutes after the bell rang.
That's horrible. How does he give that a star? Oh, my God.
And then later on, he was like, yeah, Michael Cole like tapped out to the ankle lock, and the next night on Raw, he wasn't selling his leg.
Bro, he should be more embarrassed about that one than giving Hogan Warrior 3 3/4
I know.
or whatever he gave it. Man, so I got 3, you got 4. Congratulations, You win the first round of the Wrestling Guess the Wrestling Meltzer Quiz Challenge Wrestling. Good job here. There we go, everybody. Don't point at me.
No, I'm pointing my own arm.
Yourself.
I'm pointing my own arm. My own arm's up. I win.
All right. Let us know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up. We'll see you around.
Goodbye.
Damn it.